What's common between Labubu's, Tradwives, and Andrew Tate's hypermasculine fanbase? It's economic collapse. Most of the Gen Zs and millennials have already made peace with the fact that they are the generation that cannot afford the big milestones like houses, cars, stable jobs, long-term security, or even have kids. There's an old idea in economics called the hemline index. The theory that says that the length of a skirt of a woman rise when economies boom and fall literally get longer when the economy crashes. It sounds silly, but it captures something real. That fashion mirrors fear. When the world feels unstable, culture turns conservative. Women's bodies are policed, their clothing becomes traditional, gender roles get tightened, and suddenly trad wife content is everywhere, telling women to retreat to 1950s fantasies. But the same economic anxiety also fuels a different kind of coping mechanism. Tiny, affordable pleasures. Cute little Labubus. Gen Zs and millennials may not buy houses, but we will buy a Labubu for 900 rupees, or a skincare product, or a silly little treat on our payday. These small ticket purchases create the illusion of control in a world where big things are out of reach. And on the flip side, when economic prospects collapse for young men, some of them latch onto influencers like Andrew Tate, gurus who sell a fantasy of power to people who feel powerless. Recession pushes men into hypermasculinity, women into traditional femininity, and everyone else into escapist consumerism. So yes, Labubus, Tradwives, and Andrew Tate bros have something in common. They are all symptoms of the same thing. A generation trying to survive an economy that stopped supporting them. Hi, my name is Vidushi. I'm an artist and an activist. My work investigates representation in art design and visual culture. If any of this resonates with you, follow along.